What's up, everybody? This is Dan from Big Blue Power Hour from Out of the Box Sports. Evan won't be with us, tonight, but he'll be with us next week, and I'm waiting on Stacy. I'm going to see if she can make it tonight. Giants had a real good draft. We're going to talk about it here tonight. Any questions about the draft? We're going to talk about the state of the NFC East. We're going to talk about a big signing the Giants had also. Um, Also, some early record predictions, um, as well as some undrafted free agents. So, the first pick of the draft for the Giants was a really solid pick. They traded up to get it. They traded a fifth rounder and a seventh round pick, moved up one spot, and took quarterback Deontay Banks, which is really going to help them try and solidify their secondary. Last year, they had a lot of people go down. They had a lot of quarterbacks go down. They really struggled. He's a very athletic. He's about 6 foot tall, like 190 something, 90 or so. He's a good press man corner. He's got to work on some things, but he plays really good in zone right away. So hopefully he will step in and Sully squad. Giants draft was very impressive. Squad says it was an impressive draft. Especially the first pick with DeAndre Banks, pick number 24. It helps their secondary. You got to face receiving corps like the Eagles, the Washington, and also the Cowboys. So you really have to shore up your secondary. Sully Squad says I was surprised how it fell. Yeah, it got to be the third round. I think the Giants were like pick 89 or somewhere around there. They trade all the way up to 73, and I think they traded like a fourth round. I think their fourth round pick, and a seventh rounder. They had like another seventh rounder or sixth rounder, something like that. A couple of picks, and they got uh, Hyatt at pick 73. So I thought that was a great pick. Deontay Banks, I think it was a great pick, first pick. Eileen says Giants had a good draft. I agree, they did have a good draft. I really like it. But yeah, Deontay Banks should definitely help. He's got to work on some things, but did used to the NFL. But I think he'll be solid for us. And then with the second pick, pick 57, I'm glad this guy fell to us. John Michael Schmitz, the center from Minnesota. The Giants probably hopefully found themselves a starting center here. Um, you know, he's about 6'3", 6'4", like 308 pounds, 310, something like that. Good size, strong, has good technique, is a real responsible run blocker. Runs like his, his pass blocking is solid. It's not great. Um, he's got a nasty and physical way of playing ball, and I really love that. Makers Banks a great press man, but solid on coverage. Good ball hawk skills. Needs to work on his back pedal, yeah, and movement, but that will come in OTAs, yeah. Like that's the thing. He has to work on his back pedal, like out of the break. But he's athletic enough to learn that, But he's going to be really good in zone right away. Like he seems to play more free when he's in zone, but that's because he has to learn the back pedal and get when the play starts, he doesn't know how to do that just yet. But he'll be fine. That's what I mean by he needs some work, OTAs practice. He'll get it. He's athletic enough. But I really like the Banks pick. I think it's an excellent pick for the Giants. Helps their secondary. It's a player that Wick Martindale likes. So I think he'll fit really well. John Michael Schmitz also is going to open up holes for the run game. Hopefully, with Barkley, hopefully he'll be signing with us. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. I like a nasty run blocker. He's one of the best run blockers in the class. His pass blocking is good enough, and that just probably going to help our interior offensive line. He's not the best athlete, but he's a real solid football player, a real smart football player, and you need that at the center position. And now we're going to probably have a solid center for hopefully a long time to come. Like what someone said on the third pick, Jalen Hyatt. I wouldn't say in Tennessee they ran like a really great route tree, but they do a lot of stuff. Depending on speed, they use him for speed, but I think he'll pick it up. A couple of people said, "Oh, he can route run pretty well." They just didn't use a lot. They used a lot of speed to top on the defense. He was wide open lots. He's the Bolitnikov winner from this past season for best wide receiver in college. So I have high hopes for Jalen Hyatt. I think he's really going to open up the offense, hopefully, with Waller. And we'll talk about our drafted free agents, a wide receiver that could make the team also. But I love that they traded up. They knew they needed a wide receiver, and they traded up for Hyatt, and he fell into the third round, 73, and Shane pulled the trigger. We traded up twice, even though it was one spot in the first round for Banks. It was worth it, I think, both times. They didn't have a fourth round pick, but they got Hyatt. So hopefully it'll be a good weapon for us, put on a little more weight, and I think he'll be a really solid addition to this offense. And we'll see what Kafka and Dable have planned for him. I hope it's a good amount, but he'll work his way up. He should be one of the receivers, obviously, that's going to be on the team. Probably a number 3 to start, I'm going to guess. But Jalen Hyatt, excellent pick. Pick 73. I really like that pick. A pick I really, really like is in the 5th round. It took Eric Gray, the running back from Oklahoma. He's got really good vision. Good, good patience, good cutback runner. He makes the first guy miss, breaks tackles. He's not a home run hitter, but he's got speed, good size. He's like 213 or so, I think. So it should be a good addition if Barkley goes down, if Barkley doesn't stay, but he'll be a good complementary back, I think. Off him, Breida, Barkley, Brightwell, I'm guessing is not going to stay, but I was sort of looking good, Dale Connor. Thank you very much. So I think Eric Gray is a really good pick, especially in the 5th round. I think he's a really solid running back. He's got to learn the offense, but I think that with him and Barkley and Breida, I think that'd be a nice complementary back for us. Someone can really good out of the backfield, has good hands. So you could put him and Barkley in the field at the same time. They were running that kind of wing T kind of option weird kind of formation at the end of the season. So I'm really excited to see what Gray does. I think if Barkley needs a breather or use Barkley more in the pass game, you could run with Eric Gray. And with getting Schmitz and hopefully Neal takes another step up, that would be really nice for them to implement him. Another pick I really like, Trey Hawkins, defensive back from Old Dominion. He's a tall, lanky, fast. Good change of direction. He's good going up for the ball, like kind of a ball hawk kind of player, kind of physical. Just like Wick Martindale likes. I really like this pick, Trey Hawkins, who signed his rookie contract today. So did the 7th round pick, Javarius Owens, safety. It's a good ball location. He plays the ball really well. He's tall. He has to get better recognition at times, but he could be a special teamer for now. They also got Jordan Riley, defensive tackle from Oregon. Good off the line, good disengage. He's really good versus the run. Has good arm extension. Has a good motor. It's just more depth. Hopefully, we'll see if he makes the team. These picks are like 243, 245, 200s. You never know what you're going to get, but maybe a Trey Hawkins can get some good depth. The first 3 guys I expect to make an impact. I think Gray's going to make an impact at some point. What's the slot money for those guys? Oh, Deontay Banks, I'm not sure. They haven't signed yet. Like Deontay Banks hasn't signed, Schmitz hasn't signed, Hyatt hasn't. Just Gray, Hawkins, and Owens have signed. I haven't seen what their deals are just yet. But it's a good draft. It's a good draft by the Giants. I think it's they filled some needs. They got a cornerback. They needed depth there. They got a starting center. I think he's definitely going to start. They got a starting wide receiver in their top three. He'll at least be a wide receiver number three. If he catches on, I think I expect him to be a number two. I still expect the Giants to add maybe in certain places, but today the rookie minicamp they had 60 players there. They had some veteran tryouts, undrafted free agents, like the walk-on tryouts. So they had a lot of guys there today at the start of rookie minicamp. Yeah, so that's it for the drafted players. Like I said, I thought they had a really good draft. I thought it was really solid. Got some depth hopefully. Especially defensive back and running back. Got Hyatt. Hopefully to be a good weapon for us with Waller and the other guys like Slayton and Hodgins and even Bellinger. So I really like their draft. I really liked it. So hopefully it helps us compete in the division, which is going to be really tough. Which I'm going to talk about the state of the division, and how much better the division's gotten with all the picks and stuff later in the stream. So these are the undrafted free agents. Maybe Miko can tell me about some of these guys because I haven't seen every one of these guys. Some people know something about every player. I don't watch every college football. I watch 10 college football, but not a lot for some teams. Quarterback Jermon Green from Michigan, 6'2", 186. You're always looking for more depth. I like the size, 6'2". You always got to bring in undrafted guys to see if you can find a diamond in the rough. Sometimes it's unbelievable. Some of these guys go undrafted or pretty talented. Linebacker Deontay Johnson from Toledo. He's 6'2", 230. Looking for depth in the linebacker position all the time. And some of these guys can make special teams. Someone mentioned this guy to me. Linebacker Troy Brown from Ole Miss, 6'1", 220. He's three-time first-team All-MAC Central Michigan for the Chippewas. Last year he had 93 tackles, 5 pass breakups for the Rebels. So I kind of this could be one guy that'll make the team. He seems like a talented linebacker to me. Quarterback Tommy DeVito from Illinois. This is probably going to be like a practice squad, third quarterback guy. The Giants, saw some potential in him. This guy, I'm hoping makes the team because it seems like he has potential. Wide receiver Bryce Ford Wheaton from West Virginia, 6'3", 224. He's got that size. He's good at making acrobatic catches, contorting his body. He's fast. He seems like a lot of people say he was like a fourth round guy and he went undrafted. So he's pretty tough player, pretty tough wide receiver. Has good size. That's a guy that could make it. We got defensive end Hababaku Baldonado, I think is how you say his name. Baldonado. I don't know how you say his name from Pittsburgh. 6'5", 260 defensive end for Pittsburgh. He's good at the line of scrimmage. Has a good jump. He didn't have as good this year as he did the year prior, where he had 9 sacks or so. 2 years ago. So I like that. I like him. Maybe he could make it as a depth guy, but the Giants' defensive line room is pretty full right now with a lot of good starters on it. Long snapper Cameron Lyons from Charlotte. I don't know what to say about a long snapper. I don't know nothing about him. He's just a long snapper. Alex Cook Washington. He's a defensive back. He plays linebacker, defensive back. He's kind of like one of those athletes. That you just take a chance on. Linebacker Orion Vance, Iowa State, 6'2", 260. I like that size. Good hustle linebacker with a good motor. Physical player. So offensive line Khalil Keys from Baylor. Another wide receiver Garrick Mag from North Dakota, 6'4", 210. It seems like the Giants are like going for all the undrafted free agents. They're like really tall. Another wide receiver, Carlos Correa, um, Central Michigan, 6'5", 203. That's another really tall guy that the Giants are looking at, undrafted wise. You have tight end Kenmore Gamble, UCF, 6'4", 236. Like you can see the trend here. Another tight end, Ryan Jones from ECU, 6'3", 247. He was actually a four-star defensive recruit for Oklahoma. I know an Oklahoma fan. He spent two seasons playing on the defensive side, but he transferred to ECU and had 78 receptions, 855 yards, and 10 touchdowns in 2 years as a tight end, and never played the position before. Quarterback, running back, Hazik Daniels, Air Force. I think I watched him. I watched a couple Air Force games. He's actually from Franklin, New Jersey. That's in Bergen County. That's not far from here. Eileen asked, what player you're most excited to see? For a draft pick wise, Jalen Hyatt, probably. That's probably the guy I'm most excited for. I really like John Michael Schmitz. I'm excited to see him play, but I would say Jalen Hyatt because we were looking for a weapon, and I really like Jalen Hyatt. I think he'd be a really good wide receiver in the NFL. The Blitnikoff winner, so he had a really good year last year. He kind of took the top off the defense a lot, didn't run a lot of intricate routes, but I think they'll be able to coach him up. He's athletic enough to learn just fine, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of undrafted reading. I know it's like boring to read them all. I'm gonna read the rest here. QB Howard Johnson, Clemson. He probably won't make it. Running back Ike Arabor, Union College. That's probably just a body for camp. Like running back Peter Alvarez, Holy Cross. There's just not enough position. The running back position is probably filled. Most likely, you're not going to keep 5. You're going to keep 4 at most, and some of these guys just aren't going to make it. Wide receiver Tariq Milton, Texas, 5'2", 192. Center Hofitu Baka, UTSA. Probably just another depth guy. We got a comment here. I say Banks, he has his hands full in the NFC, so they're going to test him on every play. Since he doesn't move from one side to the other. Yeah, he just stays on one side. And that's the thing, Mexico. He's got to learn. He's going to have some tough games probably versus the receivers in the NFC East. It's going to be tough. Versus Dallas, versus Washington, and versus Philadelphia. There's going to be some tough receiver matchups out there for him. So it's pick your poison with some of these teams. And I know he's really good in zone. He plays more free in zone. He's just got to learn to backpedal and get out of the break a lot better. Once he learns that, I think he'll be fine. But I like Banks like a lot. Some of the names here. Defensive lineman, Ami Finau, Maryland, 6'2", 320. Defensive line, Leal. I can't even say some of these names. Like I can't even pronounce some of these names. Linebacker Quinn Perry from Colorado. And then the last one's safety Eli Weber from Augustana. Yeah, but that one undrafted guy, what's his name? From Pittsburgh? He's from Rome, Italy, which I find interesting. All right, I'm going to read one of our, got a sponsor for everybody. Monkey Coffee, the evolution of flavor-infused coffee. They produce a gourmet specialty flavor coffee, including bourbon, chocolate-infused coffee. They also have a toasted coconut rum coffee. They sell t-shirts, travel mugs, the mugs, bags of coffee, a bigger travel mug with a filter. It looks like K-Cup filter. I use those. I need some of those. So use the promo code OOTB Sports at the checkout to get 10% off at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Join the cult of flavor-infused coffee. Again, use the promo code OOTB Sports at the checkout at monkeycoldcoffee.com to get 10% off. Miko says he's got to trust, learn and trust his safety help in the back end. Yeah, like once he gets acclimated, I think Banks will be fine. It's definitely going to be a learning curve. I think Rick Martindale's going to put him in good position to make good plays. Deontay Banks. So I think Deontay Banks is going to be really solid. I really like the pick. There were 4 receivers that went off the board in a row just before them, and I think they were going to take either Addison or Johnston if they would have been there. But those 4 guys went boom, 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 or right off the board. They're like, oh, we got to do something. So they were kind of impactful. They traded up one, and they got Deontay Banks. I really like the move. I think it's solid. Eileen says, I can't wait to see Banks shut down. I wish. Because CeeDee Lamb had some big catches versus last year, especially in the second game. We did the draft class. Ask any questions about the draft class or comments about the draft class. My favorite picks are the first 3: Banks, Schmitz, Hyatt. I really love the Gray pick, the Eric Gray pick, the running back. Is such an excellent pick. I think such a solid pick, especially in the 5th round. Now we're going to talk about Dexter Lawrence's contract extension. Dexter Lawrence, he signed a 4-year, $90 million contract, including $60 million guaranteed and an average salary of $22.5 million in 2023. Lawrence will earn a base salary of $12.407 million while carrying a cap hit of $12.47 million. So I think that's a signing they had to make. That it's really a big signing. That makes me think they're going to get something done with Barkley. You figure out a contract you could save cap money. Arlene says, can't wait to see Jets Giants. Yeah, they play each other this year. Yep. They have to play the Patriots, the Dolphins, the Bills, the whole AFC East. Yeah, everybody, hit that subscribe button. Big news coming next week. Here we're gonna have some new stuff for the show. Big things for the shows on Out of the Box Sports, including this one. So hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. But yeah, I think that's an important sign. Dexter Lawrence, I think, is an important key in this, on this team. So it's good that he's coming back. It just keeps our defense, being solid. Having Leonard Williams, I think they got to try to restructure his contract because you could definitely save some money on his contract if you really want to, and probably a good amount of money if you restructure him because his cap hit is like 30 million or something like that. It's huge. So if you can restructure him and save money, they're going to have to make some cuts also to save money to sign, their first 3 draft picks. Eric Gray signed, Trey Hawkins signed the 3rd, and then also Janaris Owens also signed. So all the others haven't signed yet. So we'll see what happens with that. But getting Dexter Lawrence back is huge. Put him next to Leonard Williams. And you also have the defensive tackle from the Rams they got as well, and also the guy from Nacho from who was on Tampa Bay. And they also drafted another defensive line, so their defensive line interior is going to be pretty solid. And then you're going to have Adol Kirike, you're going to have Ojulari, you're going to have Thibodeau. You're going to have one of the other linebackers. There's so many linebackers that they're going to have to cut half of those guys too. So, but getting Dexter Lawrence back is is really key. I'm really excited that he's coming back. And now they get, now they need to get something done, you know, with Saquon Barkley. For Saquon Barkley, obviously they put him on the tag, which is about 10.2 million. I'm hoping they can get him for about 13 million a year. I have heard that they've offered him as much as 14. So we'll see what happens if they can get Saquon Barkley back, who's a big part of their offense. I think that that really has them set right now. If they could get some better guard play, Schmitz plays better, plays good his first season as a rookie. There's always time to adjust, always a little bit of an adjustment for players. Neal takes a step up. I think their offense will really be in a solid position. But I really like to sign Barkley back. My concern always is, is his knee going to hold up? Is he going to get hurt again? You offer him all this money, he gets hurt. I would like him to play on the tag, but I understand that he feels he's worth more than $10.2 million, which I totally understand. But I think that somehow, some way, Shane's going to work out a deal with Barkley, and you'll save money by extending him. So that way you could work it out in the contract, or work it out financially, where you could do a little bit more if you need him to sign a deal. But I don't want to pay him 14 million a year, because a lot of the running backs aren't getting paid that much. They're getting paid 13, 11 to 13 million dollars. So signing Barkley is is huge if they could do it. And you still got to sign all your draft picks. So they're probably going to be pretty tight on money, but Shane's done a good job. Next year they'll probably be a little bit better financially, even though more than they were this year. You sign Jones, so let's see how the the OTAs go, and let's see if they can work something out, restructuring Williams, and that can save them some money. They're probably going to make cuts, obviously, because some guys just aren't going to play, like Gary Brightwell could get cut. You could even cut, a last resort, Darnay Holmes. Like there's going to be certain guys you're going to have to probably get rid of. Timon Fox. Like there's certain players that unfortunately you're not going to make it, because you only have 53 anyway. Other guys on the cuff will make the practice squad and develop. You have developmental players. We had guys come up for the practice squad all season last year and play. So you never know when you need some depth. But also what started today is the rookie mini camp. And it was good to see interviews from all the players, see how their first day is. I was watching Dable, and he was saying that first couple of days is really them just learning where everything is, learning the process. What time everything is, location of everything. It's kind of like an orientation, and then they slowly but surely get more into it. As time goes on. But John Michael Smith didn't say anything. He just ran right by the camera, all business. That's what I like about John Michael Schmitz. It seems like all serious, all business when it comes to practice. Seems like this guy's head on his shoulders. I think he's going to be a real good player. But the Giants had 60 guys there today. So we'll see who makes it. There's only going to be a couple of them that probably make it from that group. You have Francis, Ford Wheaton, that receiver I like. The defensive end from Pittsburgh that I like. Bolognado, I think is how you say his name. I just don't know how to say that guy's name quite right. But you're always looking for talent. You're always looking for extra talent, looking for extra depth. Some of these guys could contribute on special teams. Contribute in some way. Be part of the process. Let's see if we can find a couple good players. And obviously, you have your main rookies that you drafted that you would like to see make the team, not get hurt, stay healthy. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys do with the rookie mini camp. It doesn't really mean much. It's just getting the process started for these guys. Introducing them to Dable, all the coaches. You give them their playbooks and all that, and they start learning. So it's a second season for Dable and Shane. I think the coaching staff's going to do a hell of a job again. They did a hell of a job last year. Another thing about the state of the NFC's post draft. So I think the AFC's got a lot tougher and a lot better, especially for the Giants. That their opponents got much better. The Eagles had a hell of a draft again. Their defense is going to be something tough to deal with. Um, that's why I'm glad the Giants took a weapon, also took John Michael Schmitz, and took the cornerback, Deontay Banks. Because versus these teams, you're going to have good secondaries. You're going to have a good front, to slow these teams down and have a chance to win these games. And the Eagles are one of those teams. Their defense is going to be something fierce again. I hate to say it, but they had a great draft, and now definitely not going to like playing them, two times a year with that defense. They're just so tough. You know, Dallas got a lot better. They got Overshawn. They got that linebacker from Texas. They got Mozzie Smith, who's also a really good defensive player, really good defensive end. They got Deuce Vaughn as well, the running back. So I think Dallas got better. I hate to say it, even Washington got better. They're going to rock with Sam Howell, but they also they have good weapons. They also had a really solid draft. I think the whole division has a solid draft and got a lot better. I think it's probably going to be the best division in football, and we'll see if we get all four teams to make it. I'll open. I think division wise, I think the Giants are probably the third best team. Washington, you really need to see what they have. If they get it all together, I think they're going to be tough. I think the Eagles are going to probably win the division this year, and I think Dallas is going to finish second. But I think Dallas and Philly will both be really solid this season. Ali says Giants are still the best. Yeah, I hope they're the best in the division. Win 4 year division games. It puts you in a good spot. The Giants have a tough schedule though. It's a tougher schedule, so I'm up for like you know 11-6, 10-7. I don't think they're going to regress, but it's going to be pretty tough. It's not going to be easy for them. Elliot says in that division NFC. So I hope they're the best. I hope they have a really good division. Judge Fail says Giants will win the NFC East. I hope so. I hope they win the NFC East. I just want them to have a better year than last year. I think they can get 10, 11 wins. I don't think they're going to get 12 or 13, but I think 10 or 11 is possible. If they could be 11-6, I'd be ecstatic. 10-7, I'd be all right with. Um, I do feel they're going to make the playoffs again. But let's see if some of the games can go their way this season, unlike they did last year. They got to stay healthy, obviously, and staying healthy, maybe they'll have a good shot. I just want to make the playoffs. I don't expect them to win the division, but if they did, I'd be ecstatic about that, without a doubt. But I think the Eagles and Dallas are definitely better than the Giants are by a good amount. I think both their offenses are better and their defenses are better. I think our defense will be better, but I just feel the Giants are probably the third best team right now until proven otherwise. I'd like to just get a split with the Cowboys, split with the Eagles, and I want to sweep Washington because the Giants just seem to do better versus Washington. They always seem to get the best of them, especially lately, these past 5 years or so. Yeah, but like I said, I really like the draft. I think they got a good amount of talent. It looks like they got some good talent undrafted free agents. We'll see if some of them can make the team. Uh, Hopefully, Daniel Jones takes a step up. Can't have an excuse that he has no targets. you know, they signed plenty of depth, plenty of wide receiver depth. They drafted high, got undrafted receivers. with good size, especially Ford Wheaton. I'm looking for him to possibly make the team. I think he could help us. I always like those tall targets that go for the ball. That's why I like Waller. Obviously, Waller has to stay healthy. Uh, you know, and then I think we'll be good. Before we get to anything else, we're going to go into another sponsor here. If you ever need legal trouble, 1-800-HURT-123 attorney Big Al Jason Fine. Give a call directly Jason directly 24/7 at 267-962-4895 or Paul at 267-303-7324 for a free consultation. Paul covers the Pittsburgh, PA area, so if you ever need a free consultation, give Paul a call at 267-303-7324. They also have locations in the Cherry Hill, New Jersey area, as well as the Philadelphia, PA area. So you ever have MVA, slip and fall, workers' comp, personal injury claims, call 1-800-HURT-123, attorney Big Al. Yeah, so the Giants had a really good draft. I'm really excited the season start. Now I just hope everyone stays healthy. Go sign Barkley. I think they're going to look for more depth at the linebacker position. They're also going to look for more depth at the quarterback position. You can never have enough. So, so this is what I have for the Giants' record coming up. So we don't know when the schedule is. It's the 12th, I think. But just looking at the teams, I'm sweeping Washington, beating Arizona, losing to Dallas, 1, losing to Miami, splitting with Dallas, losing to Philly, winning versus the Rams, losing to Seattle, beating the Pats, losing to the Jets, winning the Eagles, splitting with the Eagles, beating the 49ers, losing to the Bills, beating the Raiders, the Saints, and the Packers. And that's 11-6. So that's why I said like 11-6. At worst 10-7. I just don't have that. Hope they don't have a regression. But we'll see how the second year goes. But I'm going 11-6. That's a tough schedule though. The Rams, I don't know what they're going to be, but I feel they won't be as good. Dallas, I think they'll split. The Eagles, I think they'll split. I think they'll be Washington twice, even though they'll be close games. They just seem to play well versus Washington for some reason. We'll see where the 49ers are. I don't know if they're going to have their quarterback back, or they'll be stable at that position. But the NFC East should be a fun division. Again, it should be competitive. I think the Giants are probably going to run the ball a lot more. Run the ball like they did last year, especially getting John Michael Schmitz. It really improves our run game. And now we just have to see a guard. It looks like Ozuto is going to be one guard, and then Glowinski is going to be the other guard, the right guard. Ozuto showed some promise last year. I think he took him like in the third or fourth round. Got a little injured, but I think when he was in there, he looked good last year. So I think that's probably going to be our starting line. Thomas, Ozuto, John Michael Schmitz, Glowinski, and Evan Neal at right tackle. Then you have Jones and Barkley and Breida. I think Gray will be the third running back. I think the receivers will be Slayton, Hodgins, Hyatt, eventually Robinson, and then Shepard. Maybe this kid Wheaton will make it. So I think that's they're gonna have Waller, they're gonna have Bellinger, so they'll have both of them in the game sometimes. So I don't think that's a bad offense. For the defense, I hope my guess is going to have Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence. I can't place the Rams defensive tackle at the moment. That's probably going to be your starters. On there, then you're going to have Thibodeau, Ojulari, Okirike, uh, uh, maybe uh, maybe Crowder, not the receiver, maybe him. So that's why I think they're looking for more linebacker depth, without a doubt. Then secondary, it's going to be Belton McKinney, Adoree Jackson. You also have Darnay Holmes. Julian Love is gone, and hopefully Banks will be on the other side. But you have Cordell Flott, you have Aaron Robinson. So I still think they're looking for depth in the linebacker and quarterback position. I think they have plenty of defensive linemen for this scheme. So, roster-wise, I think they're going to have a much better roster, especially at the wide receiver position and the interior offensive line position. I think their depth is much better now than it was, after the season was over this past season. Yeah, but that's it for like I said. I'm saying 11-6. I know it's a little bold, but you got to be a little bold, like just like Debo calling a play on fourth down, versus Tennessee to win the game. He's like, screw it, we're going for it. Dale said, you know what? Screw it. Then they call day balls. As it's like forever nickname just because of that move. And that's what I like about Dable. Dable's not afraid to risk it. And I did hear that, Hyatt, Dable wanted Shane to make that move to go get Hyatt. Because I think Dable is really high on Hyatt. And I think Hyatt really fits the offense. So we got a lot of speed guys, but he can play on the outside, put on like 5-10 pounds. Learn a better route tree. I think Jalen Hyatt can be a real solid weapon for us. I think Greg could be a good complimentary back if he had to start. Eventually, I think he could. I think he's that talented. John Michael Schmitz is an excellent pick, like I said. It's really a pick. Get him at 57. I think is a great value. To get Hyatt in the 73 is a great value as well. Trading up to get Banks, even though it was one spot. Even though I said, trading up to one spot is that hard, but sometimes you got to do it. The Eagles did it and got Carter. Maybe I felt they shouldn't have, but if you want a player, you go up and get him. So even if it's trading one spot. So I really like that pick. The Deontay Banks pick, I love. I think it's also an excellent pick. You got some defensive line depth. You got Trey Hawkins III, Janoris Owens, another safety. So hopefully that will improve the depth. That may not all make it, and hopefully they all stay healthy. Ken Fry, host of the Batcave and Vegas Sports Scene. His daughter plays for Not Your Average Janes. They're a girls travel softball league. They're looking for nation sponsors to help cover for travel equipment for the upcoming year. As you know, it's expensive for gas, expensive to travel. Stayover fees. Fees to use the field and all that. So, you can reach out Ken Fry directly or Paul Spencer at Out of the Box Sports to donate. Any donations will be greatly accepted, as well as mentioned on Out of the Box Sports Network as a sponsor. So if you're looking to help out, help them out, make some donations, help it a little bit easier for them. Not Your Average Janes, support them today. So we're going to have more comments on the NFC East. It used to be the AFC East. Now it's the AFC Beast. But like I said, tough schedule this year. Tougher than last year. They're going to play the whole AFC East this year. Play the Jets. Later in the season, Giants, Jets, Giants, Pats, Giants, Dolphins, Giants, Bills. So yeah, here's to a good rookie camp, good OTAs. Stay healthy. Hopefully that new turf will help out. The Giants are riddled with injuries again, like they've been plagued with the past 3 or 4 seasons. A lot of ACLs. People have been complaining about that field. So I hope the field is much better and you know, much better for injuries. I think someone says that synthetic grass. I haven't seen a picture yet or what they have. But players to look out for in the draft. I'm going to say Gray, Hyatt, um, Banks. I think will come along. But the guy I'm excited for, like I said, is Hyatt the most. I love the Schmitz pick. Always improve in the trenches, and it seems like that's what the Giants are really focused on. You're going to do so much, in a couple off seasons, but I think the Giants are going to be a much better team overall. Much better at the linebacker position, much better at quarterback position, and much better at the interior offensive line, and they have some weapons. We'll see if they make some moves during the season. So, so as for the Giants, I think Shane just keep on doing what he's doing. Building them up. Um, I think Dable's going to be here a long time. Like I'm so happy to have Wink back. That he didn't go nowhere. Kafka didn't go nowhere. So you're gonna get some camaraderie, get some consistency. You get the same offensive system a second year in a row. Let's see if they can build upon that. With the weapons they've gotten. And then improvements in the offensive line. Let's see how they can do in a second year, building upon what they did last year. So I'm gonna close up in a few minutes here, but just want to go over our schedule on Out of the Box Sports. We have something for everybody. Me, obviously, is a Big Blue Power Hour. But on Mondays, we have Joystick Junkies at 8 p.m. It's me and Evan on Monday. Tuesdays, we have extra innings. We had that last night. It's all baseball talk. Talking about the American League, National League, and everything baseball. Wednesdays, we have the Back Cave with Ken Fry at 10 a.m. Talks about the Mets, everything to do with baseball and the Mets. So branch out to other things too. Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. We have Dem 215 boys. Um, Dallas Cowboys talk. On Wednesday we have College Football Frenzy. They'll be returning to college football in 2 or 3 weeks. Thursday for locker room. 8 p.m. At 10 p.m., you have Fight Club 215. Big Blue Power Hour again next Friday will be on as well. Hopefully, Evan and Stacy will be with me then. And then Saturday, Vegas Sports Scene with Ken Fry. So there's something for everybody. So you know, you check our shows out. Hit follow and subscribe. It always helps on YouTube. So anyone have any other comments on the division or anything like that? I'm going to close out in a few minutes. There's really not much else to say. The Giants had a really good draft. Um, you know, I love Brian Dable, love Shane, love what they're doing, love what they're doing with the team. It's exciting. Finally the Giants are hopefully back. Hopefully their defense has a much better season. Hopefully their offense and Daniel Jones can progress, and Hyde has a good season. And Spitz, plays well. I hope all the rookies play well to make the team. Wishing everyone healthy. Welcome back, Dexter Lawrence, to the New York Giants. So glad to have him back. Now they need to get a contract out with Barkley. They need to restructure Leonard Williams, make some cuts here or there. Try and save some cap space to sign the rest of your draft picks, and you know, then you're gonna have OTAs, and we're gonna have camp, and we're gonna be on to the season, and on to getting close to preseason, and starting this year out. And hopefully the Giants have a really good season like last year, and build upon everything. So I'm satisfied with the draft. I'm very satisfied with the team is. I think they're in good hands with Shane and Dable and the coaching staff. I think they're going to do an excellent job. Arlene says, do you think the Giants satisfied all their draft needs? Close. I think they solidified their center need. I know they're always looking for wide receiver depth because we had so many wide receivers go down, but I think they addressed the need there, getting Hyatt. I think they addressed the need with a cornerback, but I still think they're looking for more depth because we had some depth last year. We had like Moreau. We we were signing people off the street, so you're always looking for more depth at that position. So I don't think they addressed their guard position necessarily, but they have a lot of young guards and young players on the offensive line like Parrott, Mizudu, Lemieux. I don't know if he's going to stay around. He really hasn't broken through a lot, Shane Lemieux. So maybe they'll find a diamond in the rough. Also, with the undrafted free agents, maybe someone will cut someone and they'll pick up more depth in that position. But you're always looking for players you need. So cornerback, secondary players, linebacker, still need help at linebacker, still need help with the offensive line on the interior besides center. So you still need good depth. So they address some of their needs, but not all their needs. So that's why Shane's going to keep looking. You keep looking for players getting cut, players getting released. Players getting released because of money. Maybe you'll find some good depth out there. As the OTAs roll along and as players get let go. Remember, this year you got to cut all the players at once. I don't think it's like a step-by-step process, like like week by week. You have to get down to 53 like all at once or something like that. Which is much different, but but yeah, we're gonna close things up. I hope I have Evan back and Stacy back next week. Um, Evan's taking a little bit of a break. And Stacy just had some other stuff to do, but you know, she was here to talk some trash about the AFC East. Me, I'm not that much of a trash talker, but thank you everybody for watching. And I don't really have much else to say. Just that the Giants had a great draft. Welcome back, Dexter Lawrence. Hope everyone they have good OTAs, good camps. Good working camp. I hope everybody stays healthy and go Giants. And I'll see you all next week.